Yeah. I will now ask Will, also an interest, but also a bit on the question of the transition towards our century where we live in, and are there perhaps new interests coming in, European interest or global interest? Please develop a bit on that. Thank you.
I was talking to a British diplomat yesterday who was saying that in the co-reper meetings of all the ambassadors to the European Union at the moment, the mornings are very fraught. They discuss economic policy. The core is against the periphery. France is against Germany. Everyone's against Britain. And it's not much fun. But in the afternoon, when they turn to the foreign and security matters, the mood lightens. So I think that soft power can give us strength and purpose in this crisis, because although there are many difficulties at the moment between different countries, on the soft power there's much more unity, and we should build on that. I'll talk today about one aspect of that, which is development policy, something that the UK has led on, I think, for many years, and perhaps the greatest legacy of the Labour government was the commitment that the incoming Conservative government made to continuing our commitments to development. We heard from the Honorary Karl Offmann this morning about the great success of Africa over the last decade, more profound, I think, than the economists' focus on the BRIC countries. Growth above 5%, a lot of progress on the Millennium Development Goals, and the EU has played its role here. The EU 27 gives 50% of the world's overseas development aid, and 50% of that goes to Africa, with the result in the last 5 years or so that 5 million vaccinations against measles have taken place, and 9 million children going to school now who wouldn't have done before except for aid from Europe. But there's a new report being published on Monday by the One campaign, and I've had early sight of it. I'll share some findings with you. We're falling badly short. We committed at Gleneagles, the EU, to a target of 0.56% of our GDP to go to development by 2010, along the path to 0.7% by 2015. Last year, 2011, we were only on 0.42%. We have a shortfall at the moment of 18 billion euros. To achieve our goal, we need to produce an extra 43 billion euros. And indeed, we're only halfway along the path to where we should be in 2015. For Africa, we've only met 22.5% of the increase, the target increase that we set at Gleneagles. We need to find an extra 21 billion euros to meet that commitment by 2015. And what kind of a message are we giving to countries that are developing when we expect them to meet various commitments on the path to growth and sustainability when we're not able to reach our own commitments? There are obviously moral arguments here. I think they're the most powerful, and it's not just about our colonial history, it's because we're citizens of the world. But there are also self-interested arguments, as we well know. Arguments about creating new markets, arguments about ensuring that we don't allow states to fail. And we have an opportunity through the multi-annual financial framework to really get this right and reach our ambition. But also countries have to do their bit as well. And for once in Europe, the blame can be evenly shared. It's both Germany and Spain, France and Italy who are among the worst sinners on this. And in Britain, the government hasn't yet legislated to achieve its targets. Another report on Monday from my institution, the IPPR, looks at how you might win this argument, because it's not easy, especially in austerity conditions, to make the case to your public to increase your aid. But Britain's done it, Ireland's done it, other countries like the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Denmark, Sweden are all meeting their commitments, and others can too. Part is about appealing to that human being's good nature. It's also about moving away from these sort of lists of money going in and talking more about the progress that has been achieved, but also the process of how aid works. And finally, involving people around Europe in the decision-making. Too much has been done by elites, not enough engaging people who have a much broader and richer experience of the developing world than probably at any other time in human history. So, to answer Rafaela's question of can we afford soft power at a time of crisis, I'll paraphrase Barack Obama and say, yes, we must.